Hello everybody, how are you today? I'm Chef Rob. Thank you for coming to this gelato workshop that I hope you will make someday. Thank you, Debbie, for always having me at the Mastic Merchants Public Library. You guys are always really great with me. Thank you. The children's room. We always do a lot of things, a lot of family programs at your library. So thank you. So everybody, if you have any questions or comments, please let Chris know. Chris is my son. He will be filming and he will let me know any questions or comments. I sent the recipes to the library very early this morning, so I am hoping that they will put them up on the Facebook page. If not, please, you can contact them tomorrow. But they may go up there real soon. I hope so. Okay, so everybody, before I get into the gelato, I want to tell you something, what my son and we did yesterday. We were making chicken paprika and dumplings, and we did it in Hungary. And we had a great day, and we're going to start doing dishes where we teach them dishes, they're going to teach us dishes. So we're going to do a Hungarian goulash with them pretty soon too. And then we're going to teach them one of our more famous dishes. Okay, so I want to show you what we actually made yesterday, and it was really tremendous. This is the chicken paprika. We used the thighs. Here are the dumplings. It was a little steamed broccoli on the side and make the plate look really pretty. It had some tomatoes, it had some peppers in there, some onions, and the flavor just so good. So if you ever make chicken paprika, make sure you use the Hungarian paprika. Okay, it really does make a difference. So you get it at any grocery store. So I will probably do a class like this for your library probably towards January, when we are looking for really hearty food. Okay, something that kind of sticks to our ribs, right? So I am going to start by making one of the gelatos right away. And again, if anybody has any questions, let me know. Again, my name is Chef Rob, and my Facebook page is Simply Creative Chef Rob. So if you go there, it has my whole week schedule up, okay? So if you want to go see me at a different class virtually, we can do it. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to make the mango gelato first. This could be done with mango or blackberries, okay? So either way, very important. My son and I did a course with this. Actually, I got to take that back. My wife and I did a course with this in Rome virtually on July 5th. And learned a lot there. And then you start teaching yourself even more about it. You learn more about it. And let me get into the mango gelato now. A lot of times, gelato is just milk, okay? But there are some times when you have the berries a little more watery, that you're going to need to add a little cream to it, okay? So some of the recipes, I would say if you Google any recipes, follow it to the T, okay? This first one here has 2 cups of mango in here. If you look at this mango here, really beautiful, really nice and ripe and flavorful. So this is about 2.5 cups of the mango. And I am just going to put this into my little food processor right here.
The recipes were just posted into the comments.
Okay, wonderful. Glad to hear that, because I know you all want the recipes and you deserve the recipes. Okay, I don't want you seeing me making this and then you can't make it at home. Okay, so the mangoes, these are very sweet. Now it calls for 1 cup of sugar. Okay, so let's put in a cup of the sugar. Everything with the gelato just kind of gets blended all right in. And then I also want to put in 2 cups of the milk. Okay, so let's just put this in here. I want to use the whole milk. Okay, the whole milk really does make a difference. So put that right in the food processor with this. And then I found by doing this mango gelato, or if you wanted to use blackberries, it would work well either way. A little lime juice in it just gives it some really nice flavor. So I just want the juice of a half of a lime. If you see, these are really light limes. You'll get the most juice out of these. Take them out about an hour ahead of time. Let them come to room temperature. Okay. Yes.
Let's see. The recipes were posted on the program calendar as well. Donna asked, let's see, can you use an equal amount of sweetener instead of sugar?
It really will come out very different. You really need it for the body of it. You would almost have to go to a, almost like the Sweetener's website and put in like a sorbet with that type of sweetener, okay? Because this is made with the real stuff, and it will come out a very different texture. So I'm gonna put in a half of a lime, fresh lime juice.
Also, about how many mangoes yield 2 cups of cut up mango?
If they are pretty large, which these were, I would say 2, but get 3 just to have it, just in case, because it really does matter that you have the 2.5 cups. Okay,
Donna
really does matter.
Donna said thank you.
Of course, of course. Okay, so I am gonna puree this now in this Cuisinart. Let's just pulse this right here. Now, as I'm pulsing this, gelato typically has fewer calories and less sugar and a lower fat content, okay, than a regular ice cream. Okay, I'm just going to take this off. I'm not sure if everybody heard me while I was doing that, but I was saying typically gelato has less calories, less fat than your typical ice cream, okay? So I am just going to take this out. Now, when you are ready to make this into gelato, you will put it into an ice cream machine, okay? You really do need an ice cream machine. If you don't do it and you just put it into one of these little containers, something that needs to be really snapped in tightly, okay? If it's not really tight and sealed, you're going to get frost in there. So what I do with this for right now is I will pour all of this beautiful mango gelato, it's that quick to make, into this ice cream bowl, freezer safe, and put it in the freezer until I'm ready to churn it later. And the reason I'm not going to churn it now is because I'm going to churn the other one, okay? Because you can only have so many ice cream makers at your home. So again, this is what it looks like. I would say you would get about 6 servings out of this. Again, depends how much you like. You know, I like my ice cream, so maybe I'd get about 3 or 4 out of this one, okay? You put this right away into the freezer, and then while it's in the freezer, and this one is churning, you can put it into here a couple hours later. I'll be right back. Chris is going to show you some berries. Okay, so now I am going to make a strawberry gelato. Now this one is going to have some cream in it. It's going to have cream and it's going to have milk. And the reason I'm putting cream in here is because the berries are a little more, give off a little more juice, so I need it to be a little heavier in texture. Now, when you freeze gelato or even ice cream, and you put it into an ice cream machine such as this, okay, you need to freeze the bowl, and the bowl needs to be solid. So it has a water base around the inside of the bowl. You need it to be solid and into the freezer for at least 6 to 8 hours to get the bowl solid. Then when you're making the gelato, you take that out of the freezer, you put it right on here, you add your mixture, and it will start churning too, okay? This one here, this is going to have some strawberries. It's going to have a little lemon in it because I felt the strawberries and the lemon go really, really well together. Okay, so I have to use a different Cuisinart because otherwise I get the mango flavor all over it. Yes?
Brody asked, I thought gelato had egg yolks.
A lot of them don't have it. Now, Chris and I, we did this course, my wife Jackie and I, we did this course over in Rome, and there was no egg yolks in there. No eggs at all, okay? It was a very simple base. The only time you would have eggs in there is when you are making like a custard type of, almost like a vanilla or a chocolate. That could have it in it, but a fruit one, not at all, okay? Okay, so I'm using about a pound of the fresh strawberries. Put this. Now, I froze these weeks ago, and now when I take them out, they give off a little juice, so I do want to make sure that I get all that juice out of here. I'm going to add some sugar. Again, I'm adding about a cup of sugar. And make sure you really do use the right amount of all this. It's almost like baking, okay? So let's put this in here. Okay. Now 1 lemon. I took this out about an hour ago. This is nice and room temperature, so it's going to be nice and fresh, and I'm going to get a lot of juice out of it. Just going to squeeze that through my gloves. I want about 2 tablespoons worth.
Someone asked, can you use a blender to mix the fruit mixture?
You could use a blender. You may not get it as pureed, okay? Let's say you don't have an ice cream maker and you just put this right into the freezer like it is. It will taste great, but it will be a little more icier, almost like a sorbet, okay? So I'm just going to take this lemon. A lot of pits in this lemon here. Look at that. Oh, my God. Squeeze that through my fingers. Again, everybody, go to my Facebook page, Simply Creative Chef Rob, and I will show you all of my different classes that are coming up this week. Tomorrow, I'm at the Bayport Blue Point Library at 6 o'clock, and I'm making a Greek yogurt and apple blueberry bread. So it is really, really delicious, and I hope you make it. It's really moist. It will last a good 5 days. All right, so we have our lemon. We have our strawberries, and we have our sugar in here. So I'm going to add some of the whipping cream, about a 1/2 cup of the whipping cream. You always want to try and keep everything as cold as possible. Okay. Chris is trying to catch up with me. I keep moving around a lot. You always catch me though, Chris. Okay, a 1/2 cup of the whipping cream. And then, since this is a strawberry, a fruit one, I do add some water to it. I add about 3/4 of a cup of water. Again, if you leave this just in the freezer, it'll be more like a sorbet. I'm just going to put this top on here. That is plugged in. Now I'm just going to pulse this. Okay, this looks really good, really nice, deep red color. The more milk you put in there, the lighter it gets, okay? I do want to just go get my ice cream bowl for this, so this way you can kind of watch it churn. I'll be right back. I have to keep that in the freezer. Okay, so there should be no noise to this, okay? So it's pretty solid, so there's no water that you can really hear kind of swashing around in here. So I'm just going to put this right on here. want to put on my blade. My blade, very, very not sharp. Okay, just piece of plastic. Put it right in here just like this.
We have 2 questions.
Sure. And then I just want to finish this. And then you put this on here. And then we turn it on. Get this plugged in. I have so many plugs going on. Okay. And then go ahead with the question, Chris.
Let's see. Can you add bananas to this as well?
Yes, bananas will work really, really good. What I would do is take about half of the berries out and replace it with half of the bananas. Get them pretty ripe, get them very cold. Put them in the freezer maybe about a half hour ahead of time. That way they're really cold. They're not frozen, but they're really cold, and then it will start churning really, really good. Okay. Now, this ice cream maker, this will cost you about $79 for something like this. And this is a Cuisinart. So you start with this here, you turn this on. That thing here will spin this bowl. Put this frozen bowl on here, and then you put the blade in, right in here just like this. And now we pour our liquid right inside of here.
We have 4 questions.
Okay.
So
I'm just gonna turn this on a second because it is pretty quiet, and then we'll do all the questions. Okay. So now when I put this blade on here, I'm gonna turn it on, and I want this to go as long as what the manufacturer says. So whatever on the bowl. This one here could take about 20 minutes. If you buy a cheaper machine, it could take 40, 45 minutes. A real quick one, some are as quick as 10, 15. So I'm just going to turn this on, and then we're going to start seeing it get nice and thick inside there. So Chris is zooming in on that, and now let me take the questions.
First one is, how many pounds of strawberries?
1 pound of strawberries. So if you didn't get the recipe online, because I know Chris said it is online, it's 1 pound of strawberries, 1 cup of sugar, a half cup of the whipping cream, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and about 3/4 of a cup of water. Okay. Now, Chris and I have been filming a lot of YouTube videos for a lot of libraries all over Long Island, and we're doing the fall now. We're up to Thanksgiving. We just finished cooking a turkey for Thanksgiving, didn't we, Chris?
Yeah.
And we just did a pumpkin pie gelato. So I want to show you, and I'll get to everybody's questions in a second. I want to show you the pumpkin pie gelato that we made, okay? And if you go, I just took this out of the freezer so you could see it is pretty solid. And the reason it's so solid is because you're using all fresh and natural ingredients. If you go to the supermarket, you could pretty much scoop it right up. It's because it has so much air in there, and it's not all of the greatest ingredients. This is the real sugar, the real cream, and it really does matter. Okay, so whenever you're making this gelato and then you're going to want to enjoy it, take it out about 15 to 20 minutes before you're ready to enjoy it. Okay, yes, Chris?
Someone asked, what brand of ice cream maker do you recommend?
Okay, well, I do like this one. This one is a Cuisinart. They do sell a Cuisinart ice. It's called a Cuisinart Ice 100 gelato ice cream maker. Okay, so you can look that one up online. And then there's one that's called a Lello, L-E-L-L-O. It's a 4090 Gelato Pro Quart gelato machine. Can you take that all in? So it's a Lello 490 Gelato Pro Quart gelato machine. Those are the 2 best ones that are really, really out there. Okay. Why does gelato cost a little more than the ice cream? Because it has less air in it, and then you're adding the natural ingredients, and that will make it cost a little more. Yes, Chris?
Someone said, I'm so glad I get to follow you to all the different libraries because mine is not open yet. Someone else asked, did he add milk to this? Only showed him add heavy cream.
Just the heavy cream to this one. That was it.
Then Emily said, hi, sorry I'm late, had PT. Debbie said, and you make it with love, Chef Rob.
Thank you.
Emily said, I made your tomato fritters already 2 times. Yummy.
Oh, that's great. That's great. If you haven't seen the tomato fritter one, I did a few classes. I don't think I have any of them left, but next summer we'll do it again. Hopefully in person, though.
And Debbie asked if it was the Lello 490 Gelato Pro Quart.
Yes, exactly that one. That's a great machine, or the Cuisinart. It's called Cuisinart Ice, and it's a 100 gelato ice cream maker. Okay, really, really good. Now, if you want to do chocolate or vanilla, okay, you want to use the vanilla bean. You do want to get a recipe and really follow it. Now, when I got this machine right here, it comes with a little recipe book. So if you're just starting out, follow that one first and then work your way up to where you feel, oh, I can play with this a little more and change the berries around. With the strawberry gelato, you can make it the same exact way for blackberries. You can make it for raspberries or blueberries. Okay. Now, this Wednesday night at Hop Hog, I am at 6:30 on Facebook. I'm doing a dish called Pasta ECC, and then I'm doing a swirled blueberry crumb cake ice cream. If you haven't seen it yet, please watch it. And if you don't want to go out and buy an ice cream machine, that one needs no ice cream machine. I'm actually going to go get one to show you what the blueberry crumb cake ice cream looks like. Now again, I made this about a week ago. If you want to enjoy this, again, take it out about 20 minutes to even a half hour ahead of time because it's solid. Again, the supermarket ones that have so much air in it, this is just pure ice cream made with cream and all the real ingredients. It has fresh blueberries in there. Okay, you just want to take the spoon where you can see how solid this really is. Okay, really solid. So it's kind of hard to get a scoop. Actually, I'm getting a little bit. It's a little tough. Okay, it is so delicious. It has crumb cake crumbs inside this blueberry ice cream. It's really, really good.
Donna said, in my newsfeed today, the Roma stuffed tomatoes came up from 2 years ago at the Mastic Merchant Shirley Library.
So now the recipe came up for it?
No, on the newsfeed, so it might have been a memory of hers on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I remember we did that. Because we always have 40 people come to the Mastic Shirley Library. So I think I gave everybody, I think it was like 10 tomato halves. So there was 400 tomato halves that went out. So 200 tomatoes I had to bring there. Wow. Now I'm just bringing 4 tomatoes.
Yeah, Donna said exactly. And someone said, so all the fruit makes this count as a fruit serving.
As a
fruit serving? Yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean by fruit serving. If you're meaning like the fruits for the day, I wouldn't say that because if it's that way, because it's all with the cream and sugar, so I wouldn't say this is the best way to get your fruits. Okay? But you may be meaning something different.
Yeah, Donna said they were great, and then Debbie said you feed us well.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Donna. Okay. Now, this gelato, when it finishes, this is what it would look like. Now, this one is a little deeper in color. I added a little less cream for myself.
Yeah, she said it's a joke.
What's that?
It was a joke, she said.
Oh, I was hoping so, but I was trying to answer it the best or which way I thought it might have went. So everybody, it's going to be this solid. Okay. I took this out about 10 minutes ago, so it has some give to it, but to really enjoy it, take it out early. Anybody else, any other gelato questions? This is churning. This will take about 20 minutes. And then what I do is I scoop all of this out of here. I'll put it into a container like this. If you have a Tupperware container, anything like that, just seal it up really good. And if you are making it now like I am, tomorrow morning's when it'll be ready. I'm not saying have it for breakfast for your fruits, okay?
Someone said that looks delicious.
And I hope you watch my pumpkin pie one. Now, I want to show everybody else a whole different thing besides gelato. If anybody out there ever goes to the Brazilian restaurants, which is like a Fogo de Chao, Texas de Brazil, which I think they have over in Smithtown, they always come around with the meats. They come around with the meats, and if you want more meat, they just kind of slice it off, put it right onto your plate, just like that. You know, whether they'll still do that, I don't know. Probably be a long time before they're able to do that again. But in the Brazilian restaurants, they take a whole pineapple, and then, now this is if you're bad. If you want to take whiskey, you can soak it into some whiskey, or you can soak it into some rum, a whole pineapple. Or there's a different way to do this, okay? And I'm going to give everybody the exact measurements for the pineapple in a little bit, so if you want to get a pen and paper out. But I want to show you how to prepare it a different way. These are called Brazilian Steakhouse pineapples on fire, and they're really delicious.
So next, how do you make chocolate gelato? Asking for a friend.
Chocolate gelato, you could put the chocolate chips in there. You could use some of the chocolate syrup, and of course cocoa powder would have to go in there. And that is made more with cream, sugar, and that may have some eggs in it, okay? Depends on the recipe you are using. But typically, authentic gelato uses more milk and no eggs. Okay. So this is a pretty quiet sounding machine, and I'm just going to let that go just until it starts getting nice and cold, and then I will just put it in that bowl, okay? Okay, for the pineapple, you have to make this. It is so delicious, especially since we still have our barbecues out. I'm just going to put this right on top here. Okay, first thing you want to do, I have this big cup of water. I'm just going to take a kebab stick, okay, one of these wooden skewers. Just put it right in here. I want to soak it for about 10 minutes, okay? That way it doesn't catch fire, okay? So I'm going to leave that right in the water. Chris?
So next, what's the most unusual flavored gelato you've tried?
Oh, unusual. I can't say I ever had a very unusual gelato, and I like all different things. I usually go with the strawberry, the mango, the blackberry, something like that. But saying a recipe-wise, I saw a recipe that is a bananas Foster gelato, which sounds great because that's caramelized bananas, cinnamon, brown sugar, cream. It's got to be unbelievable. So maybe I'll do that one someday. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a mixture, and again, in a little while I will give you the exact ingredients. I'm just going to take some white granulated sugar, some brown sugar. I'm using the light brown sugar, and then some cinnamon. I'm just putting all the ingredients on the side just so you can kind of see all the different ingredients. Don't overpower it with the cinnamon though, because you will definitely get that taste. So now you take this mixture of brown sugar, and cinnamon, and just kind of take your fingers, kind of toss this around a bit. And it comes up a really nice coating that is excellent on pineapple. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that this kebab stick right here was in here for 10 minutes. I promise I won't burn it, okay? I'm just gonna take the skewer and put it into a slice of pineapple, just like this, okay? I'm gonna put it about half to 3/4 of the way into this pineapple here. Now, this is where I was saying if you had a whole pineapple or even just something like this, you can soak this in rum, you can soak it in whiskey if you want, or just like this is just absolutely great too. Now what I want to do is I want to coat the whole outside of this pineapple with a brown sugar cinnamon mixture.
Someone asks, can you use raw sugar?
Raw sugar, yeah, that would be fine. Give it a little crunch to it. Okay, so I do want to make sure that it is pretty much seasoned and coated really well. Okay, so picture this right now, and now what I would do with this, I would go outside to my barbecue, I'd put it on the barbecue on a medium to medium high flame and keep kind of tossing it for about 6-7 minutes. But stay with it because you can burn the brown sugar. Take it off, just put it on a different plate, and then if you just slice it up into little pieces, it tastes so, so good. Really good now with barbecue season. You would absolutely love it. I want to give everybody the exact measurements for a whole pineapple, because you could take the whole pineapple and do it plain, or you could do it in the whiskey or the rum. You would use a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, a 1/2 cup of white sugar, and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. And then you would coat the whole outside of the pineapple. So you could, if you have a rotisserie is perfect for this, because you put the rotisserie in the whole pineapple after it's peeled, and obviously peeled, and just kind of let it turn over, okay? And probably within about 10 minutes, it will be golden brown, and it will just absorb that flavor of the pineapple. It is so delicious.
You have 2 questions.
Sure.
Do you have any pumpkin classes coming up, and what temperature on the barbecue?
What temperature? Medium to medium high. Okay. Make sure though you soak these skewers though. Really, really important. If you serve this on the side with a little vanilla ice cream, it's unbelievable. Okay. Do I have any pumpkin classes? Yes. I have a tremendous amount of pumpkin classes. I love pumpkin, so I'm so happy. Not that summer's over, but just that next season is pumpkin season. Pumpkin and apples and squash. So I'm doing pumpkin pie scones. I am doing a harvest pumpkin cranberry bread, almost like a crumb cake. I'm doing a harvest pumpkin bread. Very simple, but so moist, and you really taste those fall spices. I'm gonna do a tortellini. This is one of these nights that, you know how I do these extra things. I'm gonna do a tortellini Alfredo, but it's gonna be a pumpkin Alfredo. So it almost has a little pumpkin in it, a little cinnamon, a little nutmeg, and you toss it, and it's absolutely just delicious. Let's see what else. I know I have a butternut squash soup that I'm gonna be doing. I have a pumpkin soup that I do with a chili cranapple relish. I think, did I miss any pumpkins, Chris?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. We just filmed a beef stew, and this one I think we just booked for your library. We're gonna do a beef stew with butternut squash, and it has sun-dried tomatoes in it, and like a Marsala wine. And that's in December, so that's perfect for going into winter. So that one will be at the Mastic Shirley Library. I do want to give everybody some other classes that I'm doing. Chris says, we got a question.
Yeah, can you use tequila?
Tequila to soak it in for the
Yeah.
pineapple? Absolutely, yes.
And Pat Carroll said they all sound good.
Great, thank you. Now, so tomorrow night is Bayport Blue Point, and that's 6 o'clock. And that is the Greek yogurt, blueberry apple bread. And then on Wednesday is hop hog at 6:30. And we are doing pasta e sisi, which is a fusilli with rosemary and chickpeas. When we were doing this class in Venice, I saw the recipe and I said, boy, it sounds boring. And then Chris and I tasted it afterwards, and it was unbelievable. It was so much flavor. And you take this one pasta dish and you can turn it into 2 different type meals. So that one is on Wednesday, and then I'm doing the blueberry crumb cake the same night, ice cream, blueberry crumb cake ice cream. Thursday, I'm doing the pasta again, and I will do a different dish, not the ice cream, but something different on the side. And then on Friday, over at Connecticut Public Library, I'm sorry, I'm going to back up. On Thursday, it's the Elwood Public Library at 6:30 Facebook. On Friday at 4 o'clock is Connecticut, and there we are doing the red potato kielbasa skillet. If you haven't seen that one, try to go over to Connecticut, and it's a Zoom, just so you know, but it's 4 o'clock on Friday. And then on Sunday night, Port Jefferson, we had to reschedule it. We're going to do a curried shrimp, coconut and lime, and then also a curried chicken and mixed vegetables, and over basmati rice. So that's everything that's coming up now. Chris, you want to go in here and show that how this is getting thicker? Okay, if you could see in there, it is getting thicker. So this, in about 10 minutes, is going to go into this freezer bowl. Okay, and I leave them in these things, so this way I can go give them to somebody. Okay, and I don't have to eat this all.
Emily Profeta said yummy, and Rena said maybe pumpkin risotto. The beef stew sounds great.
The beef stew, we did. Unfortunately, we had to do the beef stew in mid-July to record for like December, because you usually don't eat beef stew in the summer. So we had it. I made a small batch of it. So that one I'm going to do at all different libraries, but it will be on YouTube, but it will also be live for the Mastic Shirley Library. Any last questions before we go?
Someone said thank you to the library for allowing others to join in. And Debbie said, I believe you're doing the salmon burgers for us in September at Mastic Library.
Yes, in September I am doing salmon burgers with apples. It has Fuji apples in there, so if you like salmon, it's on potato rolls. It is really, really delicious. And the reason I put the apple in there is not because it's September and it's apple season, because the recipe goes really well together. The apple and the salmon, just nice and mellow. And if you like salmon burgers, you got to watch it. You got to make this one.
Someone asked, where do you get the freezer bowls you are using?
The freezer bowls, these, I go to a restaurant supply store like Restaurant Depot, and you can buy something like that there. If you are going to keep it for yourself, just go use your regular Tupperware that you have, okay, and keep it in the freezer. Again, you want it to have a nice seal around it so no ice gets in it, okay?
Emily said good, because I have lots of salmon.
Oh, that's great. I know, your hubby goes salmon fishing. I know that. Yeah, see, I keep score, you guys. Any last questions before we go?
Rena said, when things go back to normal, it will still be great to have the video feed for additional people who can't attend in person because of childcare, elder care, illness, etc.
I can see that, and I know of one library in Long Island that had said, we're going to be virtual forever, and, you know, it's easy to say that, but I can see that as well, because we could have my class at a library, and then they could film it and put it on Facebook or YouTube, something like that, on the library's page. So there's always those options. So it will probably depend on each individual library as we go forward. From what I understand, you know, a couple libraries are starting to do in person yet. You know, I haven't done any yet. I don't think it will be for a while, but hopefully we'll get back soon. I want to feed you guys.
Cynthia said thank you for this class, and Cindy said thank you for a great presentation.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank
Emily
you.
said, love all your recipes.
Thank you.
And also, Rena X, approximately how much do you decrease the cream to get the bright color red for the strawberry gelato?
Take out about a quarter cup. Quarter cup of it, yep.
And
it'll come out more sorbet-like, okay?
Debbie said, we hope to offer that option in the future as well as in person.
Right. I can see that happening. Debbie, thank you. You were a pleasure to work with. Many, many years. Boy, you know what's funny about Debbie is like, I remember when I was first starting out, which I guess I'll be doing this 9 years now in September. And it was about 8 years ago, Debbie had called me, and I could picture exactly where I was. I was in Ridge, okay? And I pulled over to the side because I was excited that a library was calling me because I was a little guppy then, you know, just starting out in this business. And Debbie had booked me for months down the road, you know, probably like 3 months down the road. And now we book by the year. We were booked all the way, and we still are. We're booked till the end of 2021. And thank you, Debbie, for always having me, and it's a pleasure working with you. So everybody, have a great night, and tell your friends to go to the Mastic Shirley Library. Look at their website every day. Look at their Facebook page, because they're always putting up new things every day. And tell them even about this program. Go there and watch it, because it's going to be up for a while, okay? So everybody, enjoy your evening, and have a good night, and enjoy the rest of the summer.
Debbie said, our pleasure. Donna said, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.